points in this game.
Yeah, it really has. So in the end, it is PSG 1, Girona 0. Gazaniga's own goal proving to be decisive right at the death. Of course, Frank, you keeping an eye on your fellow countrymen, PSG getting the victory at the end. But of course, being PSG, they were made to work hard for it.
Oh, yeah. And that wasn't a good game. Girona was much better in the first half, and they were capable of playing away from home. And it was counted by the French television that Girona, at some point, had the ball for 2 minutes and a half, putting Paris Saint-Germain nowhere near it. That was pretty amazing the way they played, how they know to play, and we saw that last season. But knowing that what they suffered and how they suffered last weekend, we weren't expecting to see that. We thought that the pressure will be better, the high pressure from Paris Saint-Germain will make the difference, and it never happened. The first half was awful. Second half, yeah, Dembele, the water pity player that I call, as I nickname him, had so many chances, and the goalkeeper made a great save in one shot, another one on Hakimi was very unfortunate, but the players at front, we barely saw Barcola. We saw only one shot from Asensio, and in the middle of the park, they weren't that good. I was very disappointed by the way they handled that first game in the Champions League. So, as we said, the previous game, it's the beginning of the season. So I guess players are not totally ready, not all of them, but we can see what we already saw. Dembele with his talent, not producing what we are expecting. And as Ali said, oh, Dembele, well, nothing. Well, we know that. It's sad. They managed to win that game because of Mendes' cross and the terrible mistake from the goalkeeper. But definitely, I mean, in the studio on the French television, Nasri and Ginola were appalled by the game, and I was with them. That wasn't everything but good enough to be in the Champions League game.
Pretty embarrassing, isn't it, really? I mean, I know it's go back to what everybody says about match day one, but, you know, this Girona side was superb last year, but it's lost a lot of players.
Yeah.
You look at the middle of the park, it's not strong. Oriol Romeo is just coming towards sort of the end of his career. He's workmanlike. Brian Hill, he's been a makeshift at several clubs. Donny van de Beek's not been able to get a game anywhere in the last 5 years. And Stuani up front has been a great professional, but he's in his late 30s, and he's usually a sub, and so that's not really a confidence builder in terms of they should have really put a marker down against this Girona side, who haven't started particularly well in La Liga. And when you look at the players on the field, to have to wait and Gazaniga basically chucking one in the net, it is not good from a PSG perspective. But it's match day one, that's what they'll say. And it was 3 points, but hardly convincing.
Jurgen, you look at someone like Dembele. As a coach, how frustrating is it to have someone with clearly so much talent, but when it comes to the final decision, the final ball, it just doesn't seem to materialise?
Yeah, obviously, as a coach, you want to see consistent improvement. Such a talent, and it's undoubtedly an enormous amount of talent that he has. You know, you kind of want him to do just better year by year. You want him to become more and more mature, more leader, and obviously more clinical in front of the goal. So you want to measure him on the amount of goals, and obviously in his position when he comes from the wings, also on his amount of assists. But you want to see improvement, and I think this is obviously then down to a coach. Sit down with him every couple of weeks and make it clear what you expect from him and what work he has to put into that. And I always had the philosophy saying, okay, if you're not providing 100% of what you should do, then go back to work, go back on the field, go back to training and work hard on it until you get towards those 100%. I think he has so much to offer, Dembele, from his portfolio on technique, on pace, on creativity, fantastic players, but we would love to see more from him.
The troubling part for Ousmane Dembele and PSG is that his goals and productivity last season, you may have considered it luxury because you had Kylian Mbappe and you know that he was going to score goals. This season, with Mbappe out the door, these goals and productivity are a necessity. they have to come from many different places. And one of those places has to be Ousmane Dembele because of the talent profile. But also because of the talent profile, he has been given this sort of, this pass of, yeah, but he's so talented. Yeah, but he's so talented. Yeah, but he's so talented. At some point, you have to be productive. And PSG, if they're going to be successful, they're going to need productivity from Barcola, they're going to need productivity from Kolo Muani, and they're going to need productivity from Ousmane Dembele. I'm waiting for his productivity. Yeah, keep on waiting. It hasn't happened. I don't think it's happening anytime soon either.
You can't coach end product. You can work on it.
Okay.
You can work in end product, but I think it's difficult to coach it because it's down to the player. You can tell them early crosses, whip it in low, do all that sort of stuff, play balls down the side of centre-halves and full-backs, but you can work in that, but ultimately you can't coach it. And that one clip that we showed where he was running through, if he doesn't understand at this stage of his career and his age, with his pace, that he has to run across the last defender.
Right.
If he doesn't know that by now, and maybe he tried to do it, just didn't make a very good job of it. But if he doesn't know that's the way to go to get the strike away by now, you can forget it. Because he was trying to almost run in a straight line, and that allowed the defender to get back in. So it's decision-making in the final third like that. You can't coach it.
Over the years,